So you'll have a brief idea like something called as Indian Standard Codes and other things, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It yeah, just like we follow standard practice of any electrical or civil. India has a set of standards which it gives a coding based on IS codes. In the same manner, in the world, if you want to follow any project management practice, there is an institute called PMI, Project Management Institute. They
Okay.
have a standard book called PMBOK, Project Management Body of Knowledge.
Project
Using
management.
that body
Sorry.
of knowledge,
Body.
PMBOK. Yeah.
Okay.
Currently, the sixth edition is out, and that is considered as a Bible for project management.
Okay.
Okay. Coming to the terminology of whatever we talk now, Primavera, planning, everything is based and circulated in and around project. So the first thing we have to understand is what is a project.
Okay.
In PMBOK, the statement is a project is a temporary endeavor undertaken to create unique products, service, or results. See, just like we can tell something as a project only when it has a definitive start and end date. If we
Hmm.
don't know what is the result, and if we are continuously working on it, it was more considered as a research rather than a project.
Yeah.
Something which has a deadline and we are expecting a result out of it, that is called as a project.
Hmm.
So what is project management? Now we understood what is a project. Project management is maintaining the project, analyzing it, using a set of tools, how to achieve the result on the planned dates within the budgeted cost. In your terminology, you said you do plan for IT infrastructure. Maybe it's like for servers. When should the servers come in? When should the software part should come in? Without giving an order for the servers, if at all we get the softwares, it's a dead investment. Especially if it is a one-time investment on software, that's okay. But if we are taking a monthly subscription or something, without having our service ready, if at all we give the order for the licenses, we'll be just paying the software subscription fee, which is of no use for us at that particular time. So how
Yeah.
to plan all these things, when to bring which activity or who is responsible for what at an organization level when they have multiple projects, to have the overall best benefit and completion of projects on time, we use some tools, and we must have the basic knowledge. You have already used Microsoft Project. It is quite similar to it. One drawback what you will face in Microsoft Project, or you would have seen, is it can handle only one single project at a time.
Hmm.
You can't have multiple projects. Maybe you are planning to you are outsourcing your servers, or you are implementing a particular software, or you are giving support to a company or multiple companies. In MSP, once you can open only one company related project. If you want to open the other company, you have to close the existing project and you have to come out, and you won't be
You.
able to. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. You can give the examples in a civil side because the audience which I am going to tell them, they are all civil people. Okay.
Okay. So if you're of a construction company, and that construction company is handling multiple projects,
Yeah.
they already have an idea. Yes, a project so-called A is starting on this date and will end on a particular date, and it requires certain dollars.
Hmm. Hmm.
They can open MSP, they can see how that project is performing well and good. But at the organization level, when the MD or the higher ups want to see how the entire company is performing for 10 to 15 projects that they are handling,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
what are their internal resources, who is responsible for which project, how should I tackle it, how to manage them. For all these things, Primavera is used, and Primavera is one of the best planning tool available in the current time.
Okay.
Uh, these are just the gist of initial things. I'll open the projects in Primavera also, and I'll give you a brief intro. In
Mm-hmm.
PMBOK, when we go in detail for project management, there is something called as knowledge areas, process groups, and sub process. Everything is based on process groups. Process groups is it is like it has five parts: initiation, planning, execution, monitor and control, and closing. These are the actual project management fields. It is used worldwide. Any project we have to start, we have to initiate. That will come in terms of project charter. Okay, the higher ups will take a decision like, I have a certain amount, I want to build a building, maybe a Burj Khalifa or a second one. I have an amount, I have land. So, what all other things I need? They list out in the initiation. It's like they initiate first to start the project. Next comes the planning phase. Planning phase involves not only the activity is what are involved for that project. It will be done from design drawings. If they want models, they'll be using 3D models or the BIM technology, whom to bring, whom not to, how many resources, what is the exact cost I require. They plan it first. Then in the third phase, they start to execute it. That means on site they start the actual work. While doing that actual work, there must be some quality and quantitative control. That is what monitoring and control part is concentrated on. And in closing phase, it's like handover part. They completely close the project, and whatever is further required for the operation and maintenance of the building, they'll store all the documents for that, and it will be handed over to the respective clients, or they will only be maintaining it.
Mm-hmm.
This five process groups will be further divided into 47 sub processes based on this 10 knowledge area. As and when we go further, I'll be giving you a gist of these things also. This is not much required for your Primavera part, but having this knowledge will help you why we do Primavera and how can we use it in much better way.
Okay.
These are the 10 knowledge areas, like what are the different integration happening, what is the scope of the project, am I building the project or that particular building for commercial purpose or residential uh, or some other thing. We plan that, and how is my time maintained. Am I planning it for 2 years or 3 years? If it is 3 years, what part should be done in the first 3 months, 6 months, and consecutively what changes will come over, that will be there. Then cost, quality, all these things will be covered in Primavera in certain ways.
Good. Okay.
And project in basic, it is like it revolves around scope, schedule, and budget or cost. If at all we try to alter even any one, it is like a triangle where the other thing has to be extended. If I want to increase my budget, automatically it will be dependent upon my schedule. If I decrease my budget, I'll have to decrease my schedule as well as the scope. Without reducing my scope, I can't tell complete the project on time. If I
Mm-hmm.
add scope is like to give you a brief idea, they have planned for a 100-floor building
Hmm.
at $1 million, and they have planned it for 3 years. Immediately they tell I want to build 130 floors. If they increase the scope, they automatically their cost will also increase, and they have to give the sufficient time. If not, what will happen is this quality part, they have to compromise in the quality of the project.
Yeah.
Every project will have this triple constraint. It is not only based for civil or anything. We consider any project as simple as our engineering project time. If at all we have to do a project within a short time, we have to put in more budget, and our scope should be less. If we start increasing our scope, we'll need more time.
Mm. Fair enough.
This is the five process groups that I spoke about: initiation, planning, execution, monitoring, and controlling, closing.
Yeah.
Then introduction to Primavera. It's like Primavera in general was first started from a different company. It was Primavera. The initial version, what was released is P3. Slowly, what happened is Primavera started to gain a major recognition in the construction industry at a greater level, and they were not able to handle the data inflow what was coming into Primavera. They had to go for a better database management. That's when they approached Oracle. When they
Okay.
approached Oracle, Oracle took over the company in 2007. They released Primavera P6, and every from after Oracle took over, they started releasing the software in versions. Like Primavera P6 is the name of the software. They have
Hmm.
releases, release 6, 7, 8.2. Then all of a sudden they made a huge change. They jumped to 14, 15, and it goes on. And currently the latest one available outside is Primavera P6 release 18, and 19 is about to release.
Okay. Okay.
Oracle acquired it in 2018, and it goes on. This is the brief what I said.
We will be discussing which release?
Will be release 18.
Release 18.
Yeah. So, what is the major difference between Primavera and MSP? As you said, you have a familiar or you have worked on MSP.
Yeah.
In Primavera, the main thing is we can have inter-project connectivity also,
Okay.
and the WBS structure is entirely different in Primavera when compared to MSP. And the main thing is MSP allows us to assign resources or cost at the WBS level. Uh, uh, you know what is WBS, right?
No,
Or
no.
shall I?
Can you please tell me what is that?
Okay. WBS, the abbreviation is work breakdown structure. If at all
Okay.
I want to achieve my project, I have to divide it into multiple parts or multiple works. I can tell 14 floors can be built at once. And to have a better planning and control over my project, what we do is we divide the project into multiple small works. It's
Yeah.
like first I'll plan for footing, then I'll go for first floor, second floor, third floor. Within first floor, again I'll make subdivisions like first I have to build my civil structure, that is column and beams. Then I have to put a slab. Then there will be under column, there will be multiple columns. I have to give the names for multiple columns.
Mm.
Then after columns and beams, I have to bring in my wall structure. It might be facade, glass walls, or I might build it using blocks. I have to plan it out how many days I require, what is the manpower required for it, what is the material resource and quantity required for the same. And once the project is planned out initially, yes, I have planned it for 2 years or 3 years. Am I following it at the exact path? Am I deviating from it? For this, what we keep as a reference is called baseline here. Maybe
Mm.
for certain reasons we might change our project plan, or we might get deviated. There are a lot of reasons for which a project can be delayed. It might be manpower or labor productivity. What we planned wasn't sufficient, or due to some unforeseen or some other incidents or weather, we had to stop our project for a greater length. We had to replan it, or the vendor was kicked out, or vendor stopped in between for some other reason. They went bankrupt. We had to find a new vendor and we had to continue the project. Whatever it is, we have to have a reference as to what we planned initially, and are we sticking on to it, or are we deviating from our initial plan. That initial plan is called as baseline, and MSP allows us to maximum store only 11 baselines.
Yeah.
WBS is it's like we can't achieve the entire project at one stretch. So what we do is we start to divide the project into multiple small work packages where we can handle it and easily monitor it.
Yeah.
I can just tell my building is planned for 3 years. I'll start today. After 3 years, I'll come back and see whether I have achieved it or not. To achieve my project within 3 years, I have to plan it for every small package, whatever I can do. So what we do is we start to have it floor wise first. In floor, again, we subdivide the work into civil systems, structures, and what who are all responsible for the things. In WBS, one major difference between Primavera and MSP is that MSP allows us to assign resources and cost on WBS, which is actually not a clear way to handle or maintain the project. It should be a WBS is just like a summary. As the name suggests, we are just breaking our main scope into small subparts that should be a cumulative of the multiple activities what is beneath it. That's one of the main difference. And when we come to baseline is like, as I was telling you, we will have a initial plan of the entire project, and we have to monitor it every now and often. If at all we don't do it, or for some reason the project gets delayed, maybe it might be external factors or our labors, or the vendors might quit in halfway, or there might be some other issues due to which we will have to again reschedule or replan the entire project. It might be like we have reached halfway or 20% of the project, and for some major reasons we have to replan it, or we have to uh, change change our initial plan, due to which we have changed our scope. We might have added multiple floors again. All these things will result for the baseline change, or maybe we said the same floors has to be completed in 2 years. I'll give you additional money. So our
Mm.
initial plan got changed. To
Yeah.
maintain this without having the reference of the initial plan, we can't track the entire project. That initial plan for against which we take a reference is called baseline, and this has a limit in MSP that it we can assign only 11 baselines, after which we have to rewrite or overwrite the existing baselines. In Primavera, there is no limit for that.
Suppose we
And
have done some part of the project, now we have to deviate from that. So what we have to do at this?
we'll revise the baseline and then go with it. See, deviation is possible, but we have to have a reference. What are we deviating it, and what was our uh, in the end, the management will ask, okay, what was my initial plan for the building? How had we planned it?
Hmm.
At what cost? And why did we change in between? And against the new change, are we going on track?
Okay, okay.
For those things, this baseline is very important, and MSP has a limit of how many baselines we can keep, whereas Primavera does not have any limits. And issues and risk is a part of Primavera. We can do it, and we can have issues and risk, especially if you are telling your and Byron, the risk monitoring for every project will be at a greater level. They will have risk registers. They'll plan out for every uh, risk, whatever might occur at the initial stages only. Later on
Hmm.
they will enter, whereas in few parts or even in certain projects in India, that ignore the risk, due to which the project will have a greater impact on cost or time. They will achieve their project result what they wanted, but it won't be on time and within the cost what they had planned for. So
Yeah.
risk management is also a key factor, and that can be done in Primavera, whereas MSP does not have that option. In MSP, we'll have to use a different tool again. There are multiple tools like at risk. There are additional tools which we can use and we can go on with it. Whereas Primavera, it itself has an inbuilt risk and issue monitoring tab, and it also provides you a software called Primavera Risk Analysis. Also, if at all we want to go with the in detail risk analysis, then comes to security profiles. Security profiles is like, yes, since Primavera is an enterprise level planning software, you don't want all your employees to access all your projects.
Hmm.
You will have multiple key stakeholders whom you will have to answer them, and you don't need any person to change any other software for their personal reasons or for some other things.
Okay.
So what things are available in Primavera is that you can restrict a person to see only the project he is working on, or the multiple projects he is involved in, or like you might have divisions in your company, like head of residential, head of commercial, head of infrastructure projects. uh, those heads will be able to see and monitor only the projects that are beneath them, whereas the MD or the other key stakeholders at the higher level directors, they'll be able to view and access all the projects. And when it comes to the lowest level, if you have a project manager and he's working only on one single project, if at all he accesses Primavera from his system, we can restrict his ID and password to have and view only one project at a time, which
Hmm.
is not possible in MSP. And multiple user is like, multiple users can access and open the same project at once when it is implemented at server level.
Okay.
Here we'll be working on standalone. I can give you the gist of what is a server and how the things work at server level. Uh, you'll have
Okay.
a better idea.
So we can install it in the server and we can access centrally that software,
Yeah,
right?
multiple people can access it. It will be installed. Actually, when you're doing it for the organization, you have to have it at a server level. For educational purpose and other things, we'll be using standalone.
Okay.
But I'll give you a gist as I'm working on same projects. I can give you a gist how it looks, what are the other features. But
How we can configure and access from the server that you will be able to show me?
configuration part, in the sense, at the front end level, I can help you out. At the back end level, the configurations, no, I won't be able to teach you those things because this particular course is basically on the front end part.
Okay. Okay.
Configuration involves all the server installation, the understanding what is the requirement of your company, what would be the inflow of the data,
Okay.
the RAM, then the space required for the server, IPs. These things I won't be able to give you the clear picture because,
No, no. I got your point. What
yeah,
I'm asking, for enterprise level, this will be installed in the server, right? From there,
yes,
how the
that's
access will be created, that how they will be using, just to not showing the configuration, you will give an idea how it will be
yeah,
accessed.
those things
If it,
yes, those things I'll be giving you. It's not a problem.
okay, okay,
Okay,
that's fine.
so I'll come to the software now. Further, it is like related to software, how to access it. This is the overall. If our company is involved in multiple
Okay.
projects,
So each level, how it can be created, you will be showing to
I'll
me.
explaining you. This is the different portfolios that your company might have or is working on, and it can be having multiple projects within it. There might be a responsible person for this engineering and construction division. If
Yeah.
we start working on the security profiles and other things, he will be able to log in and he will be able to see only this.
Okay.
See, all this person are under ENC, and the same goes with energy, manufacturing.
Hmm.
Manufacturing person can never see the other projects in this enterprise. Since we are the admin or we are at the uh, higher level using all the security profiles which is assigned to us, we'll be able to see all the projects. And there
Yeah.
are multiple layouts in this. You can have the brief gist of what was your original plan. I'll show you one project. I'll open a project. This is the project when it is opened. First, I'll explain at the outside. So this is my current expected finish date. Who is the
Hmm.
responsible project manager? What was my original budget? What would be my current expected at completion budget?
Hmm.
Labor cost, if any, actual labor, how many man hours is involved in that, or the actual in the end, what would be the man hours required? Then what is the actual cost spent till date?
Hmm. Hmm.
You can have it at project level or at a divisional level or at the enterprise level of your company. What
Okay.
was your total budgeted for all the projects and how are you performing? You can have respective indicators here too. Like if it is in negative or something is happening, you can have a red indicator. If it is performing well, green. Something like that, we can create multiple indicators also, which will help the higher management. And
Okay.
when we come to activities level, it is like this is the WBS I was talking about. It is work breakdown structure.
Hmm.
So my project is Saratoga Senior Community. I have two buildings, two garage, roads, utilities, and pavers. If I just plan for this, the duration required is 923 days, roughly around three working years.
Hmm.
So I can't tell my higher management that I'll come down after 3 years and I'll tell whether this project is achieved or not. So and if it got delayed also, I can't tell exactly due to which activity or which particular part the project was delayed. So we
Okay.
start for easy monitoring. We'll start dividing them. Once we have divided it as building one will have a set of things like structure, roof, envelope. The same will go with building two. This is at the WBS level, and the same WBS hierarchy you'll be able to see at the activities level.
Hmm.
So building one has structure, roof, and other things. What are the activities involved in structure? What is the duration I require for it? What's the scheduled percent? In this, there are multiple terminologies involved, like percentage complete, what is it, and other things. And when is it start and finish? Do I have any free time involved for that activity? Float is something like you have a idea about critical path.
Critical part, yes, yeah, must
Yeah,
be Microsoft project. We are
yeah. Critical
looking.
path is like it's the longest link in your set of activities where even a
Hmm.
single day delay in that particular path will
Yeah,
result in delay of the project.
correct.
And if you have 3 or 4 days or some n number of days, that means you have that much of free time to play around. This
Hmm.
activity is green. So if I check, I'll have at least minimum of 1 or 2 days. Yeah, I have 96 days of float. That means
Hmm.
I can either start that particular activity 96 days after what I have planned, even then my project won't be in a delay, or I can finish it and I can wait empty for 96 days. That's a
Hmm.
call the project manager can take on the site depending upon what are his resources available and required for that. And we'll be involved in resource planning. What would be the total number of resources we require? What is material, labor, non-labor, all these things. And if it is labor resource or manpower, have we planned it appropriately, or is there any over allocation? In the sense, uh, are we making any person to work more than, or have we planned more than what was required?
Hmm.
If a person can work for 8 hours, and if you have and the work is for 40 hours, he requires 5 days.
Yeah.
But if at all we plan the person to work for 3 days, complete that activity in 3 days, either we have to get in one more resource to help him out, or we'll have to give him overtime to finish it within 3 days. These
Yeah.
all things should be planned prior to the start of the project.
Okay. Baseline, where it will be done.
Uh, First, we plan this thing. We'll set the baseline here. I can show you the columns. The exact procedures I'll be telling you as and when. So this project's initial whatever project baseline is set was from 1st June 11 to 12 December 14.
Hmm.
They started on the same time, but currently they are expected to finish on 5th Jan 15.
Hmm.
We can see every change in duration also. So the project was initially planned only for 907 days,
There
but
is a.
currently the difference is seen. This is at the textual or the what to tell Excel way of seeing it. If you want to see the same thing in our graphical manner,
No, I want to see that whether the work is going against the baseline or not. How to see?
yeah, I'll show you. This is what the yellow color is the baseline.
I mean, the planned. This is what we have planned initially, right?
Okay, I'll show you one thing. I guess there aren't any actuals in this. Okay, there is no actuals. For example, if I take this activity,
Okay.
it's it was planned for 1st October 11 to 28 October 11.
Okay.
Okay, I'll even show the graphical way. I tell I started it,
Yeah.
but I started it for some reason on a different day.
Mm-hmm.
If you can see, this one just moved front.
Hmm.
This is my base plan,
Hmm.
but I'm achieving it later. Then
Okay.
I tell I finished it, but I did not finish on the expected time. I took even more days,
Yeah.
so it got extended even more. And you can directly see here that my original duration, what I had planned for, was for 14 days, but I have spent 17 days on it. In the same way, you can check with the material resource, labor resource, and you can do much more analysis on the same.
Okay.
Since this is a demo, I won't be able to get in
I,
depth.
I understand. This is actually more information you have given already.
Yeah.
That's how, I mean, duration, how many hours for this course to be
Uh,
completed?
in general, whatever I have planned is till date how it runs is I generally spend around 40 hours, where 20 to 25 or hours would be involved in more of my talk and explanation how the things work. The
Okay.
rest 15 hours, it's dependent upon the particular student working on it and practicing it.
Any specific assignment or project, I mean, we will be doing after completing your 25-hour session or something?
See, as in when I'm telling you, I'll be asking you to work on the same. That would be much better because if you're working on, if you can split the screen into two halves and simultaneously work as and when I'm showing it, that will give you a much more good idea. If you
Oh,
want some notes or sample projects that you want to try, I can
yeah,
give you those things also.
fair
Since
enough.
it is an online class, your effort, more effort is required for me to understand what's happening on the other side. And
Correct. Yeah.
until you come up with more questions, I won't be able to clear your any doubts, whatever you have. It's like I can. It would be more of a presentation than helping you out to learn the software.
Mm. Yeah, I get an idea. Yeah.
So I guess if you have any doubts, you can call. You can ask. The
Yeah,
rest, I think
I'm
I have given a
happy with the
better
demo.
idea. Yeah.
Happy with the demo. The thing is, do I need to set up anything in my side? I mean, for installing this software
Uh,
to
I'll be
practice.
guiding you for those things. It's not a worry. I'll be giving you. See, Oracle will allow any person to create an account and officially download the software from their website. There is no
Yeah,
need
that
to
is
have a cracked
okay.
software or something.
Yeah,
Those links and other thing, I'll be guiding you. It won't be an issue.
okay, that's great. I'm happy with the
Yeah.
demonstration what you gave. Uh, I hope you will, because I'm new to this, so I hope you will take care of.
Not a problem. It's not a problem.
Yeah, because if it is other line, I have because I'm not familiar with the civil things.
No,
So
that's
if
okay.
you give
I
more
can give you.
example,
Yes.
that's why I asked you to give, because since I said IT, you were telling that examples in IT related things.
Because currently, even
Yes, yes, I happy with that demonstration. That's
yes.
good
Thank you.
uh, idea you gave me. You want to ask any questions to me? You can ask.
No, that's fine.
That's fine. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.